Captain Daeho Kim stood at the large window of his office looking out at the stars. The Earth diplomatic station moved slowly around the planet below. He had been a diplomat for 20 years, but today felt different. Today, he was scared. His door opened with a soft sound. Admiral Park walked in, her face serious. She carried a thick file under her arm. "Captain Kim," she said, "we need to talk." Daeho turned around. He knew that look. It meant trouble, big trouble. "What is it this time, Admiral?" he asked. "Another trade dispute? Border problems?" Admiral Park placed the file on his desk. The cover was marked with red letters. "Top secret. Critical mission." "This is bigger than anything we have done before," she said. "The Galactic Council has given us a job. A very dangerous job." Daeho picked up the file. Inside were photos of creatures that made his blood run cold. They looked like giant lizards that walked on two legs. Their teeth were like knives. Their claws were longer than human fingers. Their eyes were golden and cold. "The Valkyrians," Admiral Park said. "The most dangerous species in the galaxy." Daeho had heard stories about the Valkyrians. Every space traveler knew the stories. They were the monsters that parents used to scare children. They were the reason ships avoided certain parts of space. "They eat other intelligent beings," Admiral Park continued. "They hunt for sport. They have destroyed entire colonies just for fun. No one has ever made peace with them." "Why us?" Daeho asked. "Why humans?" "Because we are the only ones crazy enough to try," she said. "The Council tried sending the Zephyrians last year. The Valkyrians ate the entire diplomatic team. They sent back only the bones." Daeho felt sick. He looked at more photos in the file. Valkyrian ships looked like giant sea monsters made of metal. Their cities were built from the bones of their enemies. Their weapons could destroy entire planets. "The Valkyrians control the hyperspace Route 7, Admiral Park explained. "That route cuts travel time across the galaxy by half, but they attack any ship that tries to use it. Trade is becoming impossible. The smaller species are being destroyed." "So the Council wants us to talk to them?" "More than talk," she said. "They want us to make a peace treaty. They want us to convince the Valkyrians to stop attacking innocent ships." Daeho laughed, but it was not a happy laugh. "That is impossible. No one talks to Valkyrians. They only understand violence." "Maybe," Admiral Park said, "but you are not like other diplomats, Daeho. You find ways to talk to anyone. Remember the Crystalline Collective? Everyone said they were too alien to understand. But you found a way." That was true. The crystalline beings thought in ways that were completely different from humans. But Daeho had spent months learning their culture. He had learned to think like them. In the end, they became good friends of humanity. "The Crystallines did not eat people," Daeho said. "No, but they could have killed us all with their mind powers. Instead, you helped them become our allies." Daeho closed the file. He did not want to look at those terrible photos anymore. "Who else knows about this mission?" he asked. "Only a few people in the Council. And your team, of course." "My team?" "Dr. Hyjin Park from the Xenobiology Department. She knows more about dangerous alien species than anyone. Communications Officer Woo Bin Lee. He is good at first contact situations. And Security Chief Mi Young Choi." Daeho knew all of them. They were good people, smart people. But this mission would probably kill them all. "When do we leave?" he asked. "You have not said yes yet." Daeho was quiet for a long moment. He thought about his family back on Earth, his wife and 2 children. He might never see them again. "What happens if we say no?" he asked. "The Council will ask someone else. The Valkyrians will keep killing innocent people. Eventually, there will be a war, a big war. Many species will die. And if we say yes, we will probably die. But maybe, just maybe, we will save millions of lives." Daeho walked back to the window. Below him, Earth looked peaceful and blue. Up here, space looked calm and quiet. But he knew the truth. Space was full of dangers. The Valkyrians were the biggest danger of all. "I need to talk to my team first," he said. Of course, but Daeho. Admiral Park stopped at the door. The council needs an answer by tomorrow. After she left, Daeho sat alone for a long time. He opened the file again and looked at the photos. The Valkyrians were huge. Their ships were covered with weapons. Their claws could cut through metal, but there was something else in the photos, something in their eyes. They looked intelligent, not just smart like animals, but truly intelligent, like they were thinking deep thoughts. His computer made a soft sound. A message appeared on the screen. It was from his wife on Earth. Hope your day is going well, my love. The children miss you. Come home safe. Daeho smiled sadly. He might not be coming home at all. He sent a message to his team. Meeting in conference room 5. 1 hour. Important mission briefing. An hour later, his 3 team members sat around the table. Dr. Hai-Jin Park was a small woman with quick, intelligent eyes. She studied alien biology and behavior. Woo-Bin Lee was young but very good at understanding alien languages. Mi-young Choi was tall and strong, a former military officer who kept them all safe. Before I tell you about this mission, Daeho said, I want you to know that you can say no. No one will think less of you. He placed the Valkyrian file on the table. All 3 of them became very still. Oh no, Woo-Bin whispered. Please tell me we are not going to meet them. The council wants us to make peace with the Valkyrians, Daeho said. That is suicide, Mi-young said immediately. They will kill us all. Maybe. Daeho agreed. But if we do not try, there will be war. A war that will destroy many innocent species. Dr. Hai-Jin picked up one of the photos. She studied it carefully with her scientist eyes. I have read about them, she said quietly. They are perfect predators. Strong, fast, smart. But there is something interesting about their behavior. What do you mean? Daeho asked. Most predators only kill when they are hungry or threatened, but Valkyrians seem to kill for other reasons, almost like it has meaning to them, like it is part of their culture. Does that help us? Woo-Bin asked. Maybe. If killing has cultural meaning, then maybe not killing can have meaning too. Mi-young shook her head. This is crazy. We should send robots or AI, not real people. The Valkyrians only respect other living beings, Daeho said. They think machines are toys. The room was quiet for several minutes. Finally, Dr. Hai-Jin spoke. I will go, she said. Someone needs to study them, to understand them. Maybe understanding is the key to peace. I will go too, Woo-Bin said, though his voice shook a little. Communication is my job, even with monsters. All eyes turned to Mi-young. She was quiet for a long time. You are all insane, she said finally. But if you are going to die, someone needs to be there to protect you as long as possible. I will go. Daeho felt a mix of pride and fear. His team was brave, probably too brave. We leave in 3 days, he said. Use that time to prepare. Study everything you can about Valkyrians. Say goodbye to your families, and pray that we find a way to talk to the galaxy's most dangerous predators. As his team left the room, Daeho stayed behind. He looked out at the stars again. Somewhere out there, the Valkyrians were waiting. They did not know that 4 humans were coming to visit them. He hoped they would live long enough to say hello. The human ship Soul's Promise moved slowly through space toward Valkyrian territory. It had been 5 days since they left Earth's diplomatic station. 5 days of fear and preparation. Captain Daeho Kim sat in his command chair, watching the stars ahead. His hands were sweaty. Every few minutes he wiped them on his uniform pants. Captain, Woo-Bin Lee called from his communication station. We are getting close to the border. Should I send the message? The message was simple. It said that humans wanted to talk. It asked for a peaceful meeting. Daeho hoped the Valkyrians would not laugh before they killed his crew. Send it, Daeho said. Woo-Bin pressed buttons on his console. The message went out into space, traveling faster than light toward Valkyrian ships. Dr. Hyejin Park looked up from her research station. For 5 days she had been studying everything about Valkyrians. Her desk was covered with files and photos. "I found something interesting," she said. "Valkyrian language is very strange. Most of their words are about hunting and eating, but they also have many words about honor and respect. Does that help us?" Security Chief Myung Choi asked. She stood near the weapon controls, ready for trouble. "Maybe. It means they think about more than just killing. They have complex thoughts about what is right and wrong." Before anyone could answer, alarms started making loud noises all over the ship. "Captain!" Wu Bin shouted. "Ships! Big ships! Coming fast." On the main screen, dark shapes appeared. They grew larger very quickly. The Valkyrian ships looked like giant sea monsters made of black metal. They had long necks and sharp teeth painted on their sides. Weapon ports opened and closed like hungry mouths. "How many?" Dae-ho asked. His voice stayed calm, but his heart was beating very fast. 6 ships, Mi-young reported. "All of them are bigger than us. All of them have enough weapons to destroy a planet." The Valkyrian ship surrounded the small human vessel. They moved in perfect formation like wolves hunting together. "Are they talking to us?" Dae-ho asked. Wu Bin listened to his equipment. "Yes, sir, but the language is scary." "What are they saying?" "Something about testing our meat and asking which of us will die first." Dr. Hyejin jumped up from her chair. "Wait, that might not be a threat." "It sounds like a threat to me," Mi-young said. Her hand moved toward the weapon controls. "No, listen," Dr. Hyejin said quickly. "In their culture, asking about someone's strength might be a greeting, like asking how someone is feeling. Or they want to know who to eat first," Mi-young said, before they could argue. More, something hit their ship. Not weapons, something that attached to their hull with a loud clang. "They are boarding us," Mi-young said. "Captain, we need to fight." "No," Dae-ho said. "If we fight, we all die. Let them come aboard. Maybe we can talk." "Are you crazy?" Mi-young asked. "Probably," Dae-ho said. "But this is why we came here." The airlock opened with a hiss. Heavy footsteps echoed through the corridors of the ship. The footsteps were too heavy to be human. They sounded like metal boots on stone. Then they appeared. The Valkyrians were even more terrifying in person than in the photos. The leader was almost 8 feet tall. His skin was covered in black scales that looked like armor. His eyes were golden yellow and seemed to glow in the light. His claws were as long as human hands. Behind him came 3 more Valkyrians. They moved like cats, smooth and dangerous. Their heads turned as they looked at everything, studying the human ship like predators studying prey. The leader spoke. His voice was deep and rough like rocks falling down a mountain. Wu Bin listened to his translation device. His face went very white. "He says his name is Kethvar. He is a war speaker for the Valkyrian Empire. He wants to know..." Wu Bin swallowed hard. "He wants to know which of us will provide the finest meat." Mi-young reached for her weapon, but Dae-ho grabbed her arm. "Wait," he said quietly. Kethvar stepped closer to the humans. His golden eyes studied each of them. When he looked at Dae-ho, the captain felt like a mouse being watched by a giant snake. The other Valkyrians spread out around the room. One of them, smaller than Kethvar but still huge, sniffed the air. Her scales were dark green instead of black. 2 males, 2 females, she said, in accented but clear human language. "Interesting. Most species send only males to die." "You speak our language," Dr. Hyejin said, surprised. The female Valkyrian tilted her head. "I am Shira Vel. I study other species before we hunt them. Your language is simple, like the language of children." That made Mi-young angry. "We are not children." Shira Vel showed her teeth in what might have been a smile. Her teeth were very sharp and very white. "No," she agreed. "Children taste better." Wu Bin made a small squeaking sound and fell backward. He hit the floor and did not get up. He had fainted from fear. Kethvar looked down at the unconscious human. He made a sound that might have been laughter. "This one will not provide good sport," he said. "Fear makes the meat tough." Mi-young could not take it anymore. She pulled out her weapon and pointed it at Kethvar. "Stay back," she shouted. "Do not touch him." All the Valkyrians became very still. Kethvar's eyes focused on the small human weapon. For a moment, nobody moved. Then Kethvar began to laugh. It was a terrible sound, like metal scraping against stone. "You would fight us?" he asked. "You would protect your packmate?" "Yes," Mi-young said. Her hand shook, but she kept the weapon pointed at him. "Interesting," Shiravel said. She looked at Dr. Hyejin. "And you, female? Would you also fight?" Dr. Hyejin was scared, but she stepped closer to Mi-young. "If I have to." Kethvar studied them both. His golden eyes seemed to see everything. "You are braver than most species," he said finally. "But bravery without strength is useless. Your weapons cannot hurt us." "Then why do you not kill us?" Daeho asked. Kethvar turned to look at him. "You are the leader. I can smell it on you. You are not afraid like the others." "I am afraid," Daeho said honestly. "But I came here to talk, not to fight." "Talk?" Kethvar sounded confused. "No one talks to Valkyrians. They run or they fight. Those are the only choices." "There is a third choice," Daeho said. "We can have dinner together." The room became completely quiet. All the Valkyrians stared at Daeho like he had said something impossible. "Dinner?" Shiravel repeated slowly. "Yes. It is a human custom. When we meet someone new, we share food together. We eat and talk and learn about each other." Kethvar's claws extended and retracted, like a cat flexing its paws. "You want to feed us?" he asked. "I want to eat with you. At the same table. Like equals." The Valkyrians looked at each other. They made clicking sounds that might have been their own language. "No species has ever offered to feed Valkyrians," Shiravel said. "We take what we want." "Maybe that is the problem," Daeho said. "Maybe it is time to try something different." Kethvar was quiet for a long time. His golden eyes never left Daeho's face. "You are either very brave or very stupid, human," he said finally. "Probably both," Daeho agreed. "If this is a trick, we will eat you slowly." "It is not a trick, just dinner, good food and conversation." Dr. Hyejin helped Wu Bin sit up. He was awake now, but still very pale. What happened?" he whispered. "The captain invited them to dinner," Mi-young said. She still held her weapon, but she was not pointing it at anyone anymore. "Dinner?" Wu Bin looked around at the giant predators in the room. "With them?" "Yes," Daeho said. "Unless you have a better idea." Wu Bin thought about it. "Actually, no. Dinner sounds good, better than being eaten." Kethvar made that terrible laughing sound again. "Very well, human captain. We will try this. Dinner. But if your food is not good, we will eat you instead." "Fair enough," Daeho said. "Give us 1 hour to prepare." As the Valkyrians left to return to their ship, Shiravel stopped at the door. "Captain Daeho Kim," she said. "No one has ever been brave enough to invite predators to eat with them. This will be very interesting." After they were gone, Mi-young sat down hard in a chair. "Are we really going to have dinner with those monsters?" she asked. "Yes," Daeho said. "And we are going to make it the best dinner of our lives, because it might be our last." Dr. Hyejin was already moving toward the kitchen. "I need to find out what they eat, and how much, and whether our food will kill them. Or whether they will kill us after eating it," Wu Bin added. Daeho looked out at the Valkyrian ship surrounding them. In 1 hour, they would sit down to eat with the galaxy's most dangerous predators. He hoped they would all still be alive when dessert was served. The ship's dining hall had never looked so strange. Dr. Hyejin Park worked quickly to move tables together while Wu Bin Lee helped set up chairs. The chairs looked very small compared to what they would need for 8-foot-tall Velcarians. "This is insane," Security Chief Mi-young Choi said for the 10th time. She watched the door like she expected monsters to burst through at any moment. Captain Dae-ho Kim stood in the kitchen with the ship's cook, a nervous man named Jin-ho. They were looking at all the food they had brought from Earth. "What do we serve to creatures who eat other intelligent beings?" Jin-ho asked. His hands shook as he opened containers of meat. "The best food we have," Dae-ho said. "And we hope it is enough." Dr. Hai-jin rushed into the kitchen, holding her research tablet. "I found something," she said. "Velcarians are carnivores, but they do not just eat any meat. They prefer meat from creatures that fought back. They think it tastes better because of something they call honor essence." "What does that mean for us?" Dae-ho asked. "I think it means they respect creatures who are brave. Maybe if we show we are not afraid, they will respect us too." "But we are afraid," Jin-ho said. "Then we pretend we are not," Dae-ho said. They cooked the finest steaks they had. They prepared vegetables that looked colorful and fresh. They made sure everything smelled wonderful. If this was going to be their last meal, it would be a good one. 30 minutes later, heavy footsteps echoed in the corridor again. The Velcarians were coming back. Kethvar entered first, followed by Shi-Ra-Vel and 2 other Velcarians that the humans had not met yet. All 4 of them had to duck their heads to fit through the doorway. They stopped when they saw the dining table. "What is this?" Kethvar asked. The table was set with the ship's best plates and cups. Candles provided soft light. The smell of cooked meat filled the air. It looked like a feast for kings. "This is dinner," Dae-ho said. "Please sit down." The Velcarians looked at each other. They made clicking sounds in their own language. Finally, Shi-Ra-Vel sat down in one of the reinforced chairs they had prepared. The chair creaked but held her weight. "You prepared this for us?" she asked. "We prepared it for all of us," Dae-ho said. "Humans believe that sharing food builds trust." Kethvar sat down slowly. His golden eyes never left the humans. "In our culture, only packmates share food." "Are you saying we are packmates?" "I am saying we could be," Dae-ho replied. Jin-ho brought out the first course. Beautiful steaks cooked exactly right with steam rising from them. The Velcarians' nostrils flared as they smelled the meat. "This smelled good," one of the other Velcarians said. He was younger than Kethvar, with bright blue markings on his scales. "His name is Velkron," Shi-Ra-Vel explained. "He is my clutch brother. He has never smelled cooked meat before." "You do not cook your food?" Dr. Hai-jin asked. "We eat it fresh," Kethvar said, "while it still has life in it." Mi-young made a face, but she tried to hide it. The 4th Velcarian was older than the others. Her scales were gray with age and her eyes were wise. "I am Elder Morthek," she said. "I came to see these strange humans who invite death to dinner." "Death is not invited here," Dae-ho said. "Only new friends." Elder Morthek made a sound that might have been laughter. "You are either very wise or very foolish, human captain." They all began to eat. The humans ate their portions carefully, trying not to show how nervous they were. The Velcarians ate with sharp teeth and powerful jaws, but they were not messy. They ate with what looked like good manners. "This meat is strange," Velkron said. "It has no fear in it." "Fear?" Wu Bin asked. "When creatures are afraid before they die, it changes how they taste," Shi-Ra-Vel explained. "Fear makes meat bitter. This meat tastes peaceful." "The animals we eat lived good lives," Dr. Hai-jin said. "They were not afraid when they died." Kethvar put down his eating utensil. It looked tiny in his huge claws. "You care about the suffering of your food?" he asked. "Yes. We think it is important to treat all living things with respect, even the ones we eat." "Interesting," Elder Morthek said. "Most species we have met only care about themselves." "What about you?" Dae-ho asked. "Do you care about the creatures you hunt?" The table became quiet. The Velcarians looked at each other again. "That is a strange question." Kethvar said finally. Why is it strange? Because we do care. We honor the creatures we hunt. We remember their names. We tell stories about their bravery. But no one has ever asked us about this before. Shira. Vel leaned forward. Other species see us as monsters. They think we kill for pleasure. They do not understand that we kill for honor. Tell us about honor, Dr. Hyojin said. Help us understand. Velkron spoke up. When we hunt a brave creature, we take their strength into ourselves. We remember their courage. They become part of us forever. So when you asked which of us would provide the finest meat, Wu Bin began. We were asking which of you was the most honorable warrior, Elder Morthek finished. It was meant as a compliment. Mi-young nearly choked on her food. A compliment? Yes. We were saying that you seemed worthy of respect. But it sounded like you wanted to eat us, Mi-young said. We did, Kethvar said simply. That is how we show the highest respect, by making brave warriors part of our pack forever. The humans stared at them. That is horrible, Wu Bin said. To you, perhaps, Shira Vel said. But to us, it is the greatest honor we can give. No Velkarian fears death in battle, because we know we will live on in our packmates. Dr. Hyojin was thinking hard. But what if there was another way to show respect? A way that did not require death? Like what? Kethvar asked. Like this, Deho said, gesturing to the table. Like sitting together as equals. Like sharing food and stories. Elder Morthek was quiet for a long time. She looked at each human carefully. In 300 years of life, she said slowly, no creature has ever sat down to eat with me as an equal. They either run in fear or attack in desperation. Why? Dr. Hyojin asked. Because we are apex predators. We are at the top of the food chain. Other species see us as death itself. But you are more than that, Deho said. You have culture. You have honor. You have families. Yes, Shira Vel said quietly. But no one has ever cared about that before. Velkron reached for more food. This is strange, he said. I expected to be hunting you by now. Instead, I am enjoying myself. You are lonely, Dr. Hyojin said suddenly. Everyone looked at her. That is why you expand into other territories. Not for conquest, but because you are looking for others who are not afraid of you. The Velkarians became very still. You are perceptive, small human, Elder Morthek said. Yes, we are lonely. We are strong, but strength without companionship is meaningless. Then maybe we can help each other, Deho said. Humans are not afraid to be friends with predators. We have made friends with many dangerous species. Why? Kethvar asked. Why are humans different? Deho thought for a moment. Because we know that being dangerous does not make someone evil. We can be dangerous too when we need to be. But we choose to be protectors instead of destroyers. Protectors? Shira Vel asked. We use our strength to defend those who cannot. Defend themselves. We fight against those who hurt the innocent. Like pack behavior, Velkron said with understanding. Exactly like pack behavior. Elder Morthek stood up slowly. She was even taller than Kethvar, and her presence filled the room. Captain Deho Kim, she said formally. You have done something tonight that I thought was impossible. What is that? You have made me see humans not as prey, but as potential, packmates. She reached into a pouch on her belt and pulled out something that looked like a carved bone. This is a recognition token, she said. It means that I acknowledge you as fellow hunters, fellow predators worthy of respect. She placed the token on the table in front of Deho. But what does this mean? Wu Bin asked. Kethvar smiled, showing all his sharp teeth. But this time his smile did not look threatening. It looked friendly. It means, little human, that you are no longer prey. You are pack. As if on cue, all 4 Velkarians made a deep rumbling sound together. It was like the purring of giant cats, but deeper and more powerful. They are singing, Dr. Hyojin whispered in amazement. It is a pack song. For the first time since the mission began, Daeho felt hope. Maybe, just maybe, they were going to survive this dinner. And maybe they were going to change the galaxy forever. The dinner continued for 3 more hours. Captain Daeho Kim had never imagined that he would spend an evening laughing with creatures that the galaxy feared most. Woobin Lee was telling stories about human explorers. The Valkyrians listened, with great interest, especially when he talked about humans who traveled to dangerous places just to learn about new things. You explore for knowledge? Kethvar asked. Not for territory or resources. Sometimes for those things too, Daeho admitted. But mostly because we are curious. We want to understand everything in the universe. Even dangerous things? Shiravel asked. Especially dangerous things, Dr. Hyjin Park said. The more dangerous something is, the more we want to learn about it. Elder Morthek made that rumbling sound that was Valkyrian laughter. That explains why you came here. Most species send their warriors to fight us. You sent your learners to understand us. Are we so different from warriors? Security Chief Myung Choi asked. Very different, Velkron said. Warriors come to prove they are strong. Learners come to prove they are wise. Wisdom lasts longer than strength, Elder Morthek said. I like this about humans. Dr. Hyejin leaned forward. Can you tell us more about your culture? We want to understand why other species are so afraid of you. The Valkyrians looked at each other. Kethvar spoke first. We are apex predators, he said. In our evolution, we became the strongest, fastest, smartest hunters on our world. Nothing could challenge us. That sounds lonely, Woobin said. It was very lonely, Shiravel agreed. When we reach the stars, we hope to find equals, other apex predators like us. But instead you found prey species, Dr. Hyjin said, with understanding. Yes, species that ran from us or tried to fight us, nothing in between. So you began to expand your territory, Daeho said, looking for someone who would not run away. We thought if we controlled more space, we would eventually find worthy opponents, Elder Morthek explained. Instead, we only found more creatures that feared us. The fear made you angry, Myung said. Not angry, Kethvar corrected, said. We wanted friends, but we only knew how to be predators. Velkron looked down at his empty plate. When the only tool you have is claws, every problem looks like prey. But you have more than claws, Dr. Hyejin said. You have intelligence. You have culture. You have art. Art? Woobin asked, surprised. Shiravel reached into her belt pouch and pulled out a small carved figurine. It showed a Valkyrian and a smaller creature sitting together peacefully. I carved this many years ago, she said. It was my dream. To sit with another intelligent being as an equal. It is beautiful, Dr. Hyjin said, examining the carving. The detail is incredible. We are not just hunters, Elder Morthek said. We are poets, artists, philosophers, but no one stays alive long enough to learn this about us. Until now, Daeho said. Until now, she agreed. They talked about Valkyrian poetry, which was all about the honor of the hunt, but also about the beauty of life. They learned about Valkyrian music, which sounded like whale songs mixed with thunder. They discovered that Valkyrians had complex mathematics and had invented several scientific theories that human scientists would find very interesting. Why do you not share this knowledge with other species? Dr. Hyjin asked. Who would listen? Kethvar asked. They see our claws and teeth and they stop thinking. They only see death. We see life, Daeho said. We see people who have been misunderstood. People? Velkron repeated the word carefully. Yes, you are people. Different from us, but still people with thoughts and feelings and dreams. Elder Morthek was quiet for a long moment. No one has ever called us people before. What did they call you? Monsters? Demons? The death that hunts? Never people. Myung pushed her plate away. She had been thinking hard during the dinner. I have an idea, she said. But it is crazy. All the best ideas are crazy, Deho said. Tell us, what if we work together? Humans and Velcarians? To do what? Shiravel asked. To protect the galaxy instead of conquering it. The Velcarians looked confused. Explain, Kethvar said. Mi-Young stood up and began pacing. You are the strongest species in the galaxy. We are good at understanding other species and making friends. Together we could stop wars instead of starting them. You want us to be protectors? Elder Morthek asked. Why not? You have the strength. We have the diplomacy. We could make sure that strong species do not hurt weak ones. But we are the strong species that everyone fears, Velcrone pointed out. Exactly, Dr. Hyojin said, getting excited. If you protected weak species instead of hunting them, imagine how that would change things. The galaxy would not know what to think, Wubin said. They would think we were crazy, Shiravel said. Velcarians protecting prey species? Not prey species, Deho corrected. Client species. Species under your protection. Kethvar leaned back in his chair, which creaked under his weight. This idea has merit. We would still be apex predators, but we would hunt those who hurt the innocent. Like cosmic police, Mi-Young said. I like this idea, Elder Morthek said slowly. Instead of being feared as destroyers, we would be respected as guardians. But would it work? Velcrone asked. Would other species accept our protection? If we did it together, Deho said. Humans could explain to other species that you are their friends now, not their enemies. And we could teach other species how to talk to you without being afraid, Dr. Hyojin added. A cultural exchange program, Wubin said. We could set up meeting stations where different species could learn about each other safely. Shiravel picked up her carved figurine again. My dream might come true. Velcarians sitting peacefully with many different species. More than that, Kethvar said. Velcarians protecting those species from real threats. What kind of threats? Mi-Young asked. Pirates, slavers, species that conquer others for greed, not honor. Elder Morthek said. There are true monsters in the galaxy. We could hunt them instead of hunting innocents. That would give your hunting instincts a good purpose, Dr. Hyojin said. Yes. We would still be predators, but we would prey on evil instead of weakness. The room became quiet as everyone thought about this idea. It was so simple, but it could change everything. There is one problem, Velcrone said finally. What? Deho asked. The Galactic Council will never believe this. They will think it is a trick. Then we show them, Mi-Young said. We start small. One protection mission, one species that needs help. Any ideas? Kethvar asked. Wubin checked his communication device. Actually, yes, I have been monitoring distress calls. The Peaceful Traders Guild is being attacked by pirates near the Outer Ring. The peaceful traders are good people, Dr. Hyojin said. They never hurt anyone. They just want to trade goods between species. Perfect, Elder Morthek said. We help them. We show the galaxy that Velcarians can be protectors. Together, Shiravel added, humans and Velcarians working as partners. Deho looked around the table at the humans and Velcarians sharing ideas and making plans. A few hours ago, this seemed impossible. Now it felt like the beginning of something wonderful. Are we really going to do this? He asked. Yes, Kethvar said. But first we need to tell my people about our new alliance. Will they accept it? Wubin asked. Some will. Others will think we have gone soft. But when they see the results, they will understand. What results? Mi-Young asked. Elder Morthek smiled, showing her sharp teeth. When they see that partnership is more powerful than hunting alone, they will want to join us. And if they do not? Dr. Hyojin asked. Then we will have to convince them, Shiravel said. The old way or the new way? The new way is better, Velcrone said firmly. This dinner has taught me that friendship is more satisfying than fear. As the evening ended, the humans and Velcarians shook hands and claws. It was the first time in galactic history that such a gesture had been exchanged. "Tomorrow we change the galaxy," Deho said. "Tomorrow we become legends," Kethvar agreed. But first, they had to survive telling the rest of the Valkyrian fleet that dinner with humans had been better than eating them. That might be the biggest challenge yet. 3 months had passed since the dinner that changed everything. Captain Deho Kim stood on the bridge of the first Apex station, watching ships from dozens of species approach for the monthly Council of Protectors meeting. The station was huge, built jointly by human engineers and Valkyrian workers. It floated in neutral space where all species could come safely to talk and trade. "Captain," Wu Bin Li called from his new communications post, "the Morningstar trader convoy is requesting permission to dock. They have cargo from 12 different worlds." "Permission granted," Deho said. "Send them to docking bay 7. Dr. Hai-Jin Park walked onto the bridge, carrying her daily reports. She now served as the chief cultural officer for the Human Valkyrian Alliance. "How are our protection missions going?" Deho asked. "Very well," she said, smiling. "The Peaceful Traders Guild has not lost a single ship to pirates in 2 months. The Zephyrian colonies are thriving under our protection, and the Crystal Singers actually requested Valkyrian guards for their art festival." "The Crystal Singers? But they are afraid of everything." "Not anymore. They learned that Valkyrians love music. It turns out that Velkron writes beautiful songs." Through the viewport, Deho could see a Valkyrian patrol ship returning from a mission. The ship's hull was painted with symbols of peace alongside the traditional hunting marks. Security Chief Mi Young Choi joined them on the bridge. She wore a new uniform that showed both human and Valkyrian symbols. "The pirate problem in Sector 12 is solved," she reported. "Kethvar's hunting pack captured the entire gang without killing anyone." "How did they manage that?" Wu Bin asked. "They scared them so badly that the pirates surrendered immediately. Turns out that when Valkyrians hunt criminals instead of innocents, they are very effective. And the pirates? They are working in the station's recycling center. Kethvar says that honest work will teach them honor." The bridge door opened, and Kethvar himself entered. He had to duck his head, but the doorways on Apex Station were built bigger than on human ships. His black scales gleamed under the lights, and his golden eyes were bright with satisfaction. "Captain Deho," he said in his deep voice, "the council meeting is ready to begin." "How many species are attending this time?" Dr. Hai-Jin asked. 47, Kethvar said proudly, "including 3 species that used to hide from us in fear." They walked together toward the main conference room. Along the way, they passed view windows showing the busy life of Apex Station. Human children played with young Valkyrians in the recreation areas. Scientists from different species worked together in the laboratories. Traders bargained peacefully in the markets. "I still cannot believe this worked," Wu Bin said. "Why not?" Shiravel asked, appearing beside them. She had been promoted to Valkyrian ambassador and wore ceremonial armor decorated with symbols of friendship. "Because it seemed impossible," Wu Bin said. 3 months ago, humans and Valkyrians were natural enemies. "We were never enemies," Shiravel corrected. "We just did not understand each other." "Understanding changes everything," Dr. Hai-Jin agreed. The conference room was enormous. Representatives from dozens of species sat around a circular table. There were the blue-skinned Aquarians who breathed water, the crystalline singers who communicated through music, the furry nurturers who took care of orphan species, the metallic builders who constructed amazing cities. At the head of the table sat Elder Morthek and Admiral Park from Earth Command. They were the joint leaders of the Alliance Council. "Welcome, friends," Elder Morthek said in her deep voice. "Today we celebrate 3 months of successful cooperation. And we plan for the future," Admiral Park added. "The galaxy is more peaceful than it has been in centuries." A small, mouse-like creature raised her paw. This was Speaker Tiny Whiskers, of the Cautious Folk, a species that had been too afraid to leave their home system for 50 years. "I want to thank the Alliance," she said in her tiny voice. "For the first time in my life, my people can travel safely. Valkyrian protection ships guard our trade routes. Human diplomats help us talk to other species. It is our honor to protect you, Kethvar said gently. His voice was quiet so as not to scare the small being. A tall, thin creature that looked like a walking tree spoke next. This was Barksinger of the Growth People. My question is about expansion, he said. Many species want to join the Alliance. How do we grow without losing what makes us special? Carefully, Dr. Hyjin said. We invite new members one at a time. We make sure they understand our values before they join. What values? Asked a representative of the Rock Eaters, a species that lived on asteroids. Deho stood up. Protection of the innocent. Cooperation between different species. Using strength to defend, not to conquer. And most importantly, talking to each other instead of fighting. Do not forget the dinner rule, Shiravel added with amusement. What is the dinner rule? The Rock Eater asked. All conflicts must first be discussed over a shared meal, Elder Morthek explained. You cannot stay angry with someone after eating together. It is amazing how often this works, Admiral Park said. Food makes everyone more reasonable. Velcrone entered the room carrying a crystal pad with new information. I have the latest reports from our protection fleets, he announced. Pirate attacks are down by 80% in Alliance space. Trade is up by 200%, and we have not lost a single protected ship in 6 weeks. The room filled with approving sounds. Different species showed happiness in different ways. Some clapped, some hummed, some flashed colors. There is more good news, Myung said. The Galactic Council has officially recognized the Alliance as a legitimate peacekeeping force. That means other species can request our protection without fear of punishment, Wubin explained. A new voice spoke from the back of the room. What about species that do not want protection? Everyone turned to look. It was Ambassador Sharptongue of the Proud Hunters, a species that had always competed with Velcarians. That is their choice, Kethvar said calmly. We only protect those who ask for protection. But what if they attack Alliance members? Sharptongue asked. Then they face the consequences, Elder Morthek said firmly. We protect our friends. Those who hurt our friends become our prey. Sharptongue's scales changed color, showing nervousness. And if we wanted to join the Alliance? You would be welcome, Deho said. After we share a meal together and discuss your intentions. All species are welcome, Shiravel added, if they come in peace. The meeting continued for hours. They discussed new trade routes, protection assignments, and cultural exchange programs. They planned festivals where different species could meet safely. They organized scientific expeditions to explore unknown parts of the galaxy. As the day ended, Deho found himself alone on the observation deck with Kethvar. They looked out at the stars, watching ships from many worlds traveling safely through Alliance space. Do you think this will last? Deho asked. Why would it not? Kethvar replied. Because it seems too good to be true. Peace in the galaxy. Former enemies working together. Predators protecting prey. We are not predators and prey anymore, Kethvar said. We are family. Family? That is what you call a group that protects each other, is it not? A group that shares food and works together and cares for each other? Deho smiled. Yes. That is exactly what family means. Then we are the strangest family in the galaxy, Kethvar said. Humans and Velcarians and 45 other species, all different, all working together. The best families are the strangest ones, Deho said. They stood together in comfortable silence, watching the peaceful traffic of Alliance space. In the distance, a human cargo ship traveled alongside a Velcarian escort, protecting a convoy of smaller species vessels. Kethvar, Deho said finally. Yes? Thank you for not eating us that first day. Kethvar made his rumbling laugh sound. Thank you for inviting us to dinner instead of shooting us. Maybe that should be our Alliance motto, Deho said. When in doubt, invite them to dinner. I like it, Kethvar agreed. Though we might need bigger tables. As if summoned by their conversation, Shiravel appeared on the observation deck. The evening meal is ready, she announced. Tonight we have guests from the singing crystals, the nurturing folk and the deep swimmers. They want to learn how to cook Valkyrian-style meat. This should be interesting, Deho said. Everything is interesting when you eat together, Kethvar said. They walked toward the dining hall, where beings from across the galaxy would sit down together, share food, and continue building the most unlikely alliance in galactic history. Behind them, the stars shone down on Apex Station, where predators had learned to protect instead of hunt, and prey species had learned that the most dangerous beings in the galaxy could also be the most loyal friends. The galaxy would never be the same, and that was exactly the way they wanted it. The end in the years that followed, the human Valkyrian. Alliance grew to include over 200 species. Apex stations were built throughout the galaxy. Saint misunderstood friends waiting for someone to care enough to listen.